Hey guys, what's going on? So I assume that a lot of you have noticed ever since I made my return back home here to my original location after my near 9 months of college or so, you have probably noticed that I have not been as entirely consistent with making videos as of late. But if you think I'm going to build up with a statement like that I'm going to announce my farewell to YouTube, no, that is not going to happen in the slightest. What I do want to tell all of you though is why I haven't been as consistent as of late, and also for the fact of future updates for a lot of channel segments that have been absent for a long time, but also give you guys a bit of hints on some future ones that will also be coming up too. First off, the reason why I haven't been really as consistent is because it has really taken a while to adjust back here at home after coming back home from Irvine for college, and all the things that I've had to readjust to, and also for the fact that I'm surprisingly very busy during the day, even though I'm not employed at the moment. Like, I don't have a job, even though I've applied for many. I still have a lot to do throughout the day, and it's really cut into the time that I either have to plan out certain videos or also make ones early at a certain point. But now thankfully it's come to a point where I'm going to get back on track, and there are also going to be some of those old segments that you haven't seen appear in a while on my channel, and I'm going to bring those back at some point too. One of those I especially want to talk about is Trailer Tuesday. If you remember that one back when I started my channel at about April or so, and I discussed the latest trailers to have come out in the past week and gave you my thoughts on them on a scale of 0 to 5. However, I'm still trying to come up with a better and more unique rating system to top that though. Right now I can't entirely predict at the exact point of when that segment is going to return, but there are certain points that if it does come for a chance, I will come back and do it for sure. And now moving on to one that I haven't really touched upon at all actually. I mean, I've hinted it in several channel updates and I still have not followed through, you guys, so I'm sure that's what a lot of you wanted to do right there, because I haven't done it for a while, and that is Cali Critic Classics. What I planned to do with that segment was review some of my favorite movies leading up to the weekend of one releasing. Let's say if Robert De Niro was in an upcoming release, I'd review one of my favorite movies starring him, one that's in my favorite movies of all time list, for instance, and then maybe even when Looper releases, I'd review Brick leading up, because that's a great film by director Rian Johnson that directed that movie. That is something that I promise to bring soon, and this is the last time that I'm going to say that in which I don't do that, because I promise you guys, I will be doing this segment as soon as possible. This is no BS. I'm not going to prolong it like I always have been for the past couple months. That will be coming soon. However, at the same time, it's also made me think of reviewing TV series too, because that's another thing that I've been doing a lot this summer. I've been catching up on a lot of TV shows that I've never watched before, and really surprised, frankly, that I haven't watched them before either. Like, for instance, the very short-lived cult comedy series Undeclared, which was one of Judd Apatow's first early hits. There's BBC's Sherlock, Joss Whedon's Firefly. I've really been watching a lot lately, and I had the real nerve to review some of them because not many people really have. And who knows, maybe I'll end up calling those Cali Critic cult classics to add in some more flair right there. And now the last segment that I do want to discuss that has been absent for a while is the monthly preview. This is something I started all the way back in January, and I managed to do it all the way through February. And then around May and June, and even for July, it stopped because I got so busy with college at the point, and even when returning home, I was having trouble adjusting to a lot of stuff that I had to get back used to doing. But I can assure you that it will be coming soon again. It won't be for August because of the point that this video is being made. This would have been it right now, but I just didn't really have the time to. The monthly preview is coming back in September. You heard it right there. And lastly, before I go, I do want to discuss something that I don't really plug in that often, and those are my secondary channels, which is a Tyler Christian Film, my second channel that I established a while ago. I only uploaded one video sometime last year, but I'm thinking about deleting it because it doesn't really serve a lot of relevance because a lot of time has passed since. And also the Film Freaks podcast. First up, for a Tyler Christian Film, this is a channel that I have had a lot of thoughts of instituting new things on it because I've been prolonging those for so long. I have some short film ideas here and there that I'm planning on following through in the future, but I also want to use it to discuss what are my inspirations, what TV shows or movies really give me the inspiration to do what I do for the creative process of writing things down. And I figured that'll be a great point to show you my inner personality and love for certain movies and television shows, even ones that don't get the recognition they deserve. So I'm thinking of starting top 10 lists for that as well. Of course, you can find the channel link up here or down there in the description. And finally, also, if not many of you are aware of, I do run this podcast called Film Freaks, which I do with one of my film buff friends every week. I haven't done an episode since the Comic-Con recap that I did with Charlie Morse of Not Charles Morse. You can check that in the description below along with the channel, but I can assure you that the podcast will be returning soon. I'm going to be doing one with one of my best friends on Total Recall and all the other things that we break down, which is the Hollywood 3 or 5, the biggest news stories that happen in Hollywood, whether it's casting, directing, news, so much more. There's Trailer Talk, which we review the latest trailers, and then we get to Rate the Release, which is where we review the latest weekend releases. Of course, all those channels you can find down below in the description. You can also find me, of course, on Twitter. Follow me at CaliCritic. You can find me on Facebook, Tyler Christian, then in parentheses, CaliCritic Reviews. And then also, finally, you can find me on my blog, CaliCriticsCorner.blogspot.com. I know I'm plugging in a lot of stuff for you, so call me a selfless whore right there for doing all that, but whatever. They're all below if you want to check them out. So that's just a little bit of an update for what's to come in the future on my channel. A lot of old segments will be returning at some point, and I'm finally going to be back on a full swing of making videos throughout the week. I'll be doing that by starting with the review of the new Total Recall that released on Friday, because I just don't really have the time to review the old one. Frankly, I haven't even seen it right there, so do it again right there. That wasn't even a real slap, though. Alright, that was better right there. So in the meantime, I'm Tyler from CaliCritic Reviews. Make sure to check out all those links I put down in the description. That's the last time I'll be whoring myself out for a while right there, too. And I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.